Hi Gary, so this is just the tutorial video for the Orchestra website. This one is only going to cover logging into the website and making text changes to all the different pages. So I wouldn't change any images at this stage, but that is something that we can talk about. There's quite a few steps involved in images. It's quite simple, but there are a few things that you need to be aware of, such as sizing the images, the shapes of them, the file sizes, and there's a bit more to it. So for now, I just want to give you access to the website. So I've sent you over an email, and on there is a link, a username, and a password. So all you do is you click the link, you pop in the username, and you pop in the password. It will have to be capitals for the username, and then you click sign me in. That will basically then bring you to this screen here. Ignore any messages on the right about payments due. I have no idea why they show up, but they're not relevant, just ignore them. What you want to do is come over to the left-hand side where it says websites and just click on there. Eventually, where there's a gap here, there'll be just a sort of thumbnail of the Orchestra website. Until then, it's just a blank space. But what you want to do is at the bottom here, you click Edit Website. Just click on that. Basically, then that will load the software I've used to build the website in, which is Bramble. So if you've got fiber optic like me, it will load in about a couple of seconds. And if you're on a normal internet connection, it can take sort of 20 or 30 seconds for Bramble to load up. A few things to say about this video. You might need to watch it more than once just to sort of understand it. So feel free to play the video back and watch it again. And the other thing I'm going to say, which I'm just going to briefly mention, there's a trash can logo at the very top here. I'm not going to click it or go anywhere near it. I have had a few customers click it by mistake and that deletes the page you're currently on. So don't go anywhere near that trash can logo. The only reason I say that is there's no undo button if you use the trash can logo at the top. So if you click it and it deletes the home page or a page, it then relies on me on going to a backup and sorting it all out. So basically, the first tip is don't go anywhere near the trash can logo at the top. So what happens when you load Bramble is it loads the home page. You'll notice all sorts of strange spaces and strange symbols. You just basically ignore them. They're different settings and they're different elements which are turned on for phones and for tablets, so you just completely ignore them. And same with the slider. You'll notice your slider is displayed very differently in Bramble. You can see all the images that it contains, whereas on the website it scrolls between them. Again, just ignore that. The slider is also repeated because, again, there is a version that displays on computers, and there's a separate version which displays on tablets and phones. So again, ignore all of these sort of strange layout things. And basically every section that you come to will highlight in green. You're then able to go in and edit, much like a Word file. You could go in and you could, if you wanted to, add more text to the bottom. You could, if there was things you didn't want anymore, like if you didn't want this last paragraph, you could obviously highlight it and delete it. So you'd access it and you'd change things there just like you would a Word file. Couple of pointers here. So you have an undo button. So if you didn't mean to do something, the little arrow at the top is your undo button. Again, with Bramble, everything you hover over, it's going to tell you what that's about to do. So you have an undo, you have a redo, you have a save page, and again, stay away from the trash can. You have a duplicate, you have a new page, but you probably won't need any of those tools at all. So probably just the undo button. The other thing to mention is you could make a big mess with your website, accidentally delete something. As long as you don't click the green publish button at the top, then you won't save the changes and you won't do any damage. So for example, if I say I've just deleted that and I didn't mean to do it, all I need to do is exit, leave, and what I didn't do is I didn't hit the green publish button. So basically the site is safe and no damage has been done. So if you then went back in, what you'd notice is all that paragraph I deleted and all that text, it's there and it's fine because I didn't publish the changes. So you can come into this, you can have a play around, you can sort of get used to what you're doing. And then if you think, I'm not really sure I want to save that, just don't publish the changes, exit the browser, you're all good. And there's no damage done. So that's just something I like to let people know. And again, everything you click, you're going to get these highlighted boxes. And again, you'd be able to go in making text changes if you wanted to, or if you needed to. You have things as well, such as you can drag things around. You have the move. If you wanted to change the order, so if you decided actually joining us should be at the front here, you can drag it and drop it and change the order of things if you want to. So any elements that highlight that are in a row, you can use the move tool to drag those about. And again, if you don't want to make those changes, you've got your undo button, and also you can just exit without saving, as I mentioned. So it's pretty straightforward, to be honest, particularly the home page. There's not too much that you'll want to change, but you now have access to do that. You will notice on the right hand side you've got loads of font options. My best advice for you is to leave those as they are. So I've had a few customers who've enlarged loads of fonts. They think this looks great, and then when they go on a tablet or when they go on a phone, everything's just too big. So this has been optimized, and I've got it all working perfectly on tablets and on phones. So if you can paste as much text in as you like and delete whatever you want to, but I wouldn't play around with the sizing, and I wouldn't change the fonts too much either. If you do want to do that for any reason, let me know, and I can just make sure that the changes we make are going to work properly for people's phones and their mobiles, as well as the computer version. So yeah, leave the fonts as they are, but if you want to change them, we can obviously do that. Just let me know. So again, I'm going to not save the changes to that page. We'll go back in. I'm now going to show you how to get to different pages on the website. So up in the very top here where it says index, you click that, and basically you have all of the pages that the site has that are online. I've tried to label them things that are quite obvious, so your news and events page, your members area, your general inquiry, your taking part. So everything's sort of labelled as clearly as can be, so it makes it easier. And basically any page that you want to access, so let's just go instruments for hire, for example. If you click it, you'll notice it's changed now, so we're now looking and editing the instruments for hire page. Same as before, weird symbols and things at the top you can ignore. Slider that's repeated you can just ignore, but you would click each element that you wanted to. You could then go in, add your text, change your text, make any alterations that you needed to make. If you were happy with what you've done, you hit the green button and publish. And if you weren't, obviously as before, you can just exit without saving. But it's pretty straightforward, to be honest. You just navigate through pages that way. You won't be able to change much on the contact forms. You'll need me to do that. They have to be synced every time something changes. So again, I'll just leave as much as it alone as you can and just concentrate on now that you can access every page and make text changes should you wish to. Images and contact forms, just leave that with me for the time being. If you get a bit more confident and you want to start editing things like that, let me know, and obviously I'll give you a hand to do that. What I'd also show you then is if there was an event that you suddenly decided that event has been and it's gone and I don't want it anymore. So for example, this one's about to end. You highlight, so you can see we've highlighted that with the green box. And on the left hand side, so not at the top, but on the left hand side trash can, you can remove that item. So that would then bring the item that's currently below to the top. And again, if you didn't mean to do that, you have the undo. But I'll just show you that again. So news and events, you click the item you want to remove. On the left hand side, you click remove. That's then gone. You then end up with what you have there. You could then publish those changes and that would save that. When you make changes to the website, you will have to refresh the main site to see those changes, and it's not instant, so there's a couple of minutes delay. So if you make loads of text changes for the home page and you save it, and then you go back on the website and you think, well, I can't see those changes, just refresh a couple of times, wait about a minute or two, and that will all catch up, and then all those changes will show. So your browser just takes a little bit of time to catch up. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to show you on this first video. It gives you access to the site. It gives you the ability to alter text on the pages should you need to. And again, I'll just quickly show you. So if we went to taking part, same again, you just go in, you make changes that you want to, you can add more text in. Again, everything you click, pretty straightforward, clicking each section, able to go in, able to make changes. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. But yeah, what I'll do is I will cover separately a different video if you want to know about images and changing those. Like I said, it's a little bit more tricky, but for now, I hope that's everything that you need. If not, just give me a shout, and thanks for watching.